there's a lot of different things I could talk about with the sound clips in here, but I'm just going to kind of show you how it looks. Um, I don't know, like there's not this is I approach the soundtrack very kind of non-traditionally to how I usually approach soundtracks. I didn't even really feel like I was composing when I did it, and a lot of the like drones and stuff were kind of stock drone assets, that I used within the score. So this kind of dark Atmos sound, like that's one of those. But then heartbeat, that's like, and that plays. It just kind of gives you a thump 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 thump. That's just a little, I basically think of it as a sound effect, but it is a musical element, and that's something I compose. This low bass that has I mean, yeah, it's just like I composed that, but it's just like a low drone. And I just wanted it to hit the note I want. I use these impacts all the time for thumbs, and I didn't create those, but I use them musically in the film. Heartbeat, like I said, that's just a thump 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 with a rising synth, and I created that asset. But it's like I don't really think of it as composing music, even though it is composing. But it's just like for this, I just really wanted to be in touch with like just what is the soundscape I'm trying to create, what are the emotions I'm trying to convey, and letting that inform everything. But it's just like, and that's just the language of horror movies. That's not like that doesn't come from like my own thoughts about horror. But that just comes from trying to tap into like, well, how are horror movies constructed, and what can I do to, um, try to create those like use the edit to create those moments, right? Horror movies, like something I love about the way that they're constructed is leading up to the scare. And you can see that in the timeline. Now I'm bringing in all these sounds. There's these whooshes, these risers, there's that growl, there's this music that splashes. I created that asset, and that's just like cymbals going just to kind of increase the tension as he looks back up and faces the monster, right? And there's horror in his eyes, and you hear that just alarm bells going off in his brain. And then the monster growls. And the growling of the monster is a couple of different assets, sound wise. So train tracks, there's a little bit of a whine of. I live near train tracks, and they just have this kind of like howl kind of sound. They whistle as they break, and so I captured that audio. There's a bird call, and this video clip sound effect came from a video I got of a turkey. It was just a single turkey in the woods as I was hiking, and it just went, it just kind of called in the distance, and I pitched that down, and that combined especially with the like as that sound repeats, this asset, this is a growl as well, that I got online, and that added that. I mean, that really created the identity of the monster. This growl as well, of course, for the final growl was very important as well. But as far as what I recorded, it was these three things layered together, and they're pretty soft in the mix, and I use like these growls a little bit more prominently, but I like the texture that those three things add. And basically, whenever you hear the monster kind of call out from the distance, you hear those three assets, and then in this growl as well. And that's kind of an important part of the quality of the sound, layering that all together.